When COVID hit, then we realized that then there was an information gap. If you're not in the community and you're not online, then you're not able to get that information. And we saw, of course, realized in Kenya there are many teenage pregnancies that happened because of COVID. And of course, the only space that we felt that then was safe, within the homes, you find that then a lot of sexual violence happened. And at that time, that's when, for us, we realized that we needed to share information with the whole community digitally. And it is in that push, after our constituency realizing that we are needed, we started now having the conversations online. If you know someone who is pregnant and needs services, where can you go? If you've known someone has been sexually assaulted, where can you go? And these are the critical issues and information that young women and girls and the whole community needed, and we were able to fill that gap. One last thing that I must say for this partnership and how it has really, helped our work is the fact that we were able to actually tap into, a community that people are not talking about, So with the drop-in center being closed for, community like ITGNC, where will they go? Because everyone is converging online and offline. So for us then, this partnership with our different stakeholders, especially Jinsi Yangu Network, which is an anti-agency organization, to have the conversations around, okay, if an anti-agency person has been assaulted, where can they go? Where can they seek psychosocial support?
And we strengthen the capacity of ITGNC persons themselves to understand what are your rights as an intersex person, transgender person, gender non-conforming person in Kenya. What avenues do I have to access these rights? How do I even understand how myself as a person in the context I live in make it difficult for me to access HIV services? This is with regard to violence, this is with regard to mental health, this is with regard to access to sexual reproductive health.
Wakati corona ilifika Kenya, ilibidi kitu ya kwanza zile biashara zote walikuwa wanafanya zilisimama. Ikawa sasa hakuna kitu kingine wanaweza fanya. Kwa sababu ya hiyo ikawa sasa hawawezi tumiwa chakula kutoka makwao, wale wenye wako na makwao, kwa sababu pia serikali ilikuwa imefunga nchi, kuna mahali ya ungeenda. Lakini kama shirika letu la Jinsi Yangu tulikuwa na uwezo ya ku identify hawa intersex persons wako wapi. Then tukaanza kuwapatia chakula. Pia tulihakikisha wako safe mahali wako, kwa sababu tulikuwa napeana sanitizers na mask, kwa sababu si wote wanaweza kuwa na uwezo wa kununua.
Sometimes it's challenging finding your place in society, and also we've had like high cases of mental health issues within this community. So when COVID hit, some of these challenges were just now magnified. First of all, the issue of now security. A lot of gender non-conforming persons had to go back home to their parents. Now you cannot present as who you are, and if you do, there's the case of abuse. Maybe it could be mental, it could be physical when they're trying to bring you back to the box. And because of that, also cases of mental health went high, like cases of anxiety, depression. Now, due to lack of better coping mechanisms, we had also cases of now dependence on drugs and alcohol. And because now they were back home, it became very hard for some of them to even now access drop-in centers. But luckily, Jinsi Yangu was there, and we were able, first of all, to provide a safe space for people to come.
In this partnership, we were able to document the stories of ITGNC in terms of how were they affected by COVID, how did they manage, and where did they get resources. And for us, having the webinars that we had, the Twitter conversation that we had, the radio program that we had, so what those meant was that then people could actually hear their voices.
Yeah, as we seek to challenge the underlying discriminatory, exclusionary, social and gender norms that have been entrenched in society and that have been actually amplified even with COVID, or that the losses that we have made, we also need to be very careful to engage the thought leaders and the custodians of some of these social norms.